Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you try, life keeps showing you the same patterns? What if the missing key isn't what you do, but what you say, especially to yourself? The universe doesn't respond to effort alone. It responds to vibration. And your inner dialogue is the frequency that shapes everything. Speak to yourself differently, and reality itself begins to bend. They say the universe doesn't just listen, it vibrates with every word we speak. Every syllable carries a frequency, an energetic imprint that echoes through the fabric of reality. When one speaks carelessly without awareness, those words can ripple silently through the subconscious, planting seeds that later bloom as real experiences. It's like casting spells without realizing you're holding the wand. Words like poverty, helplessness, or I can't embed themselves into our energetic field, whispering to the law of assumption that this is what we believe to be true. And the universe, impartial and precise, mirrors back exactly that frequency, co-creating realities based on these unconscious assumptions. Imagine your voice as the wind through an enchanted forest. Will it awaken beauty or summon shadows? Every word is a choice, every phrase a brushstroke on the canvas of your personal reality. Have you ever stopped to notice how certain phrases feel heavy while others uplift you immediately? Let's keep walking together, because what you'll discover next might change how you speak to yourself forever. Have you ever felt the weight of your own words shape your day? Share a moment when something you said seemed to shift your energy or your surroundings. I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Spiritual practice. Try starting your mornings with 3 words that reflect how you want to feel. Say them aloud, feel them resonate in your chest, and watch how your day responds. The subconscious is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant, it grows. And just like seeds, the words you repeat, whether aloud or in thought, take root in silence, hidden from view, until they suddenly emerge as patterns in your life. Many speak of bad luck or hard times without realizing they've been nurturing those very realities within their inner dialogue. When phrases like, "nothing ever works out for me," or "I'll never have enough," become frequent visitors in the mind, the subconscious registers them as truths. Over time, these statements crystallize into beliefs, and beliefs are the architects of experience. What began as a whisper becomes the dominant script directing the movie of your life. This is where the invisible becomes visible, where energy hardens into matter. Have you ever caught yourself repeating a story about your limitations? That inner echo is more powerful than it seems. And next, we'll begin to unravel the secret that Neville Goddard whispered into the world, one that explains why this happens and how to change it. Can you recall a phrase you've often said that might be quietly shaping your life? Share it below. Awareness is the first step to reclaiming your narrative. Spiritual practice suggestion. Write down the 5 phrases you say to yourself most often. Are they rooted in love or fear? This simple list can reveal what your subconscious has been absorbing. Have you ever felt lost, disconnected from who you really are? I created 3 transformative ebooks to help you reconnect with your true essence. Click on the link in the pinned comment and begin your transformation now. Beneath every word we speak, there's a belief, an invisible thread weaving the fabric of our reality. Neville Goddard taught that it's not the wish itself that manifests, but the assumption behind it. In other words, reality bends not to our desires, but to what we quietly assume to be true when no one's listening. If someone says, "I'll find love someday," but deep down assumes they're not worthy of it, the spoken words lose their power. The law of assumption doesn't respond to the surface, it listens to the silent frequency beneath. It's not about wishing harder, but shifting the inner knowing. The frequency you emit isn't only in your voice, it's in your vibration, your being. These unconscious assumptions are the architects behind every coincidence and every repeating pattern. They reveal themselves in our stories, in the way we speak of money, relationships, or even time. So here's the mystery. What if you could change those inner scripts? What if your assumptions are the hidden spells behind your entire life? In a moment, we'll begin that transformation. Which assumption have you been living under without realizing? Let's reflect together. Your words might help someone else recognize their own hidden beliefs. Spiritual practice. Tonight, as you fall asleep, whisper to yourself the reality you assume is already yours. Repeat it gently, like a lullaby to your subconscious. There's a subtle yet sacred alchemy in the way we speak to ourselves. Saying, "I don't want pain," still echoes the vibration of pain. The subconscious doesn't understand negation. It only absorbs the emotional charge of the words, painting your personal reality accordingly. So, even in denial, we may be affirming the very things we wish to release. The shift comes when we begin to affirm not what we want to avoid, but what we choose to embody. I am happy and blessed. I am safe and supported. These aren't just words. They're energetic codes. When repeated with intention, they recalibrate your inner frequency, tuning your subconscious to a new station, a new life. And it's not about blind repetition. It's about presence. It's about speaking with the energy of someone who already knows the truth of those words. Try it now. Let the phrase, "I am love," roll gently off your tongue. Feel how your chest responds. That's not just self-talk, that's transformation in motion. But what if the entire collective was doing this? Have you ever had a phrase that lifted you instantly? Share your favorite affirmation below. It might become someone else's anchor today. Spiritual practice. Begin each morning with one affirmation spoken aloud and one written. Keep it on your altar, your mirror, or your phone screen. Let it live in your world. Every word you speak isn't just shaping your life, it's echoing into the field we all share. The collective consciousness is a living ocean of energy, and every thought, every phrase you release becomes a drop in that sea. When we speak with fear, doubt, or anger, we reinforce an energetic web that keeps others trapped too. Now imagine the opposite. Thousands of souls whispering trust, love, transformation. Each word becomes a vibration of light sent into the grid that connects us all. It's not just spiritual poetry, it's metaphysics in action. Your inner dialogue is never truly private. It's part of the symphony that creates collective reality. That's why your personal transformation is an act of sacred activism. When you heal your story, you help to heal the human story. When you speak with gratitude, you amplify that frequency for others to access. And when enough of us choose higher words, a tipping point is reached. But what happens when we take this inner revolution even deeper? What word would you offer to the world today if it would echo forever? Leave it in the comments. Let's create a wave of healing together. Spiritual practice. Choose one word each day. Peace, joy, abundance, and carry it like a mantra in your heart. Let it guide your tone, your gaze, your steps. The most persistent voice we hear isn't from outside, it comes from within. This internal dialogue, repeated countless times a day, carves the path of our emotions, decisions, and the energy we emit. Whether kind or cruel, it creates vibrations that influence how we experience our personal reality and the world around us. When we begin to transform this voice with mindful intention, we reclaim an immense power. A phrase like, "I trust the process," or "I am exactly where I need to be," might seem small, but spoken with heart, it shifts the emotional current of an entire day. These aren't mere affirmations, they are recalibrations of our subconscious, guiding us toward alignment, healing, and clarity. Gratitude becomes the light that dissolves complaint. Trust silences fear before it takes root. Compassion rebuilds the soul in quiet, steady whispers. As we refine our inner voice, life doesn't just feel different, it begins to look different. Conversations soften, relationships shift, and reality reorganizes itself to match the frequency of this new dialogue. In truth, speaking to yourself with love is one of the most revolutionary spiritual acts there is. Now reflect. What phrase do you need to tell yourself today? Share it below. Your words might light the way for someone else. Spiritual practice. Light a candle tonight. Whisper to yourself 3 compassionate truths. Let them settle like warm embers in your heart as you rest. Now it's your turn. Watch your words, especially the silent ones. Speak to yourself with love, trust, and intention, and observe how reality begins to reflect your inner light. What phrase are you choosing to plant in your subconscious today? Share it in the comments. I'm reading everything. And if this message resonated, hit subscribe and turn on the bell because we're just getting started. The universe is listening, and so are you. You've learned how your words shape reality. But what about the silence within you, the one that trembles before every choice? Next, we'll explore how anxiety, far from being your enemy, might be the hidden force guiding you toward greatness.